Today we're gonna answer my long-standing question, and that is, how is this IT industry is structured? To answer that question, we have to compare it with traditional industry. For example, let's say manufacturing industry. In manufacturing, based on raw material, machinery, and labor, we'll get output. That is end product. It can be a biscuit or any electrical items. But when it comes to IT industry, let's say you are working in a company, for example TCS, Infosys, and you might be a part of a cybersecurity team or a development team or a tester team. Let's say you are part of development team and you will be developing a particular application, and that client would have given a testing part to some other vendor. And let's say you are in cybersecurity, you will be part of endpoint security, and your company would be doing endpoint security management, and some other company would be doing patch management for same client. So if you see, it's kind of complicated. Let's dissect that and understand the IT industry. We can understand IT industry by understanding history. History of what? History of computers and networks. Computers evolved, which is known as, or evolution of computers can be categorized into generation. The first generation computers happened in 1950s, and by 1980s the computers turned into PC and thus evolving into more personalized computers, which gave rise to PC revolution. IBM played an important role in initial generation of computers, and Microsoft and Apple played an important role during PC revolution. Similarly, with respect to networks, ARPANET project of 1960s gave rise to initial forms of networks, and by 1990s internet became available to public. And with respect to computers and with respect to companies in network, AT&T played an important role in network, and Google, which formed in 1998, played an important role in internet, that is search engine. So by 1990s, because of evolution of computers and networks, we have newly formed industry known as IT industry. So IT industry can be categorized into under a single name, and that name we call it as information and communication technology, commonly referred to as ICT. What this ICT refers to, or what it contains, or what can be categorized into ICT: anything and everything that deals with information and communication can be categorized into this ICT. So from satellite that we have to the gadget in your car can be categorized into ICT. So this is the broader classification when it comes to the tech industry itself, and this is further divided into hardware and software. We can call software line or a digital as well. For example, hardware can be your laptop, and software is the application software or system software in your PC. Since we are dealing with only IT industry, we will focus on software part only. Now with respect to software, it can be further categorized into two, that is product and services. Now we are actually entering into the focus of our video, that is understanding our IT industry. In IT industry, a company could be either product oriented or service oriented, but nowadays it's kind of mingled. A product oriented company also gives services, and service oriented company also deals with product. For example, an example of product oriented company could be Adobe, Oracle, Microsoft, Meta, etc. So they are primarily deals with the product of their company, and which is primarily also software or digital in it. So they will be categorized under software based company who deals with product. Now moving on to services. Services can be either in-house services or outsourced. What do I mean by in-house services? Let's say Jio. Let's take an example of Jio, and let's say they hire a bunch of people for customer care services. In this case, since the Jio itself taking care of the services to its clients, that customer care services will be categorized under in-house services. And what is outsourced? It would be a no-brainer now. If Jio gives that customer care service or outsources that customer care services to an external party or vendor, it will be called as outsourced. Here comes the typical IT company of India, and they can be categorized as professional service companies. Our TCS, Infosys, HCL, Tech Mahindra, Wipro, all will be primarily, or they are categorized under professional services companies. What does that mean? I said that, for example, if Jio gives that customer care service, if Jio outsources that customer care services, an external party will be providing that service, right? For that company, let's take it as Infosys. To give that service, Infosys should have talent, right? That talent they kind of lend it to Jio. So they are primarily giving a professional service. Hence they are called as professional services companies. TCS hires developers, and those developers will be developing some part of a whole project of external client, right? Whenever you ask people of these companies, they will be doing this. And this is our IT industry. Our Indian IT industry is primarily based on this. Primarily talent outsource companies. We can also call that name. And another global companies could be Accenture and Capgemini. And this wraps up our discussion on IT industry. Thank you. If you like this video, please consider liking it, because that would tell YouTube that this video is helpful for you, and consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you.